That's as good a way to start as any. And this is going to be particular and unique. I want to tell you what you're looking at. This is going to be really cool for you to see. Take a look at this nickel here on Indian Trace. Everything right in the very middle here is a whole lot smaller than you think. Because look at this nickel and then look at this point here. Or this one right here. I don't know if the nickel gives you an idea. This is no decorative nickel that's 5 inches large. I mean, look at the size of this. It's way smaller than my fingernail. These are the smallest and best quartz tips that I have found. They're all tiny. To give you an idea, just a perspective, there is not going to be one here in this display, and we're going to check them out. Look at this. Particular and unique quartz pieces. There's not one piece here that is longer than an inch. Not one that is longer than 1 inch. And I mean, when you get them all laid out like this, and we're used to seeing ancient points, we're thinking, wow, those are big. I mean, you could look at any picture like this and get a picture and think, oh, man, that's 2-3 inches. That's a nice point. No, none of these. You can see one section of my finger are longer than an inch. They're just about an inch on the very longest ones, like this one. And so I want to show you these and go around, because these actually, all of them, and look at these and getting some good views of them, live in one bin with room to spare. And I did a count the other day, and some of you who are new tuning in here, you see this box, which holds just some great stuff that I found through the years. If you're new, if you know me, you know what it is. But there's about 862 of my best pieces in there. It's just a good thing. Take a look at these, though. I want to show you this. See what order I can go around this circle in. I'll start at the bottom. And I'll just go through these and talk about them a little bit. I have discussed with some guys who nap, if I can give you some good close-up of these, how on earth, because quartz is so hard, they could get to be such masters of making, now these are all under an inch, keep that in mind, making incredible pieces out of quartz. We seem to think that the only way you might be able to break and nap this efficiently could have been with another piece of quartz. But then the question that remains is, where are the tools, quartz napping tools, that could do it? You probably could wear out an antler trying to nap some of this stuff, but they might have used antler, and it might have, in the smallest measure, been able to break and nap this stuff down. Because just look at the detail in some of these. Smoky quartz as well. Two particularly unique triangles. And in 3 years I found these little points, and they all go into sort of a collector's bin. This is a particularly unique point. I wonder if we can see it here. That bevel off the back. I don't know if my focus is doing it any justice. I'm sorry. But on Indian Trace here, what I try to do is give people a little bit of a cleanup sometime of things that a lot of these little points I never did film. You barely know what they are when you flip them out, but then you say, oh my goodness, it's a point, and you grab it up. That's a unique point right there. Haven't found one like that. So looking at these, and I've set them up in sort of doubles that are close to one another. Particular and unique. The question remains to me, how on earth do you make things out of such a hard material when you guys are so used to napping out of antler and things like that? How did they master making such small pieces out of quartz? And I'm open to all the suggestions, and I just throw around ideas, because these here in the middle around this nickel are, I mean, tiny. But you can see the kind of craftsmanship that they did on such tiny pieces, even serrations on these tiny pieces, even notches on these tiny pieces. I mean, can you believe that, right? Those triangles are all bow points. Now look at these. Just a great collection of tiny quartz points throughout the years. Vein quartz. I mean, just look at the detail on these and seeing that these are a half an inch that you're looking at right here. Unbelievable. And this is a little smaller than a half an inch. Back to a half an inch. Eastern North Carolina. Quartz was abundant. It's an indigenous material here. And look at these triangles. How about that for a couple? Working on a couple notches on this lower one. And it is finished off the back for sure. And this is finished off the back as well. Unbelievable points. A little shorter than an inch on those. And to finish, these two. Particular and unique. How on earth, right? How would you do it if you nap? How would you make a piece of quartz that's like this if you nap this material? And have you tried? Anyway, I'll finish it with that, and just as I pan out here, trying to keep it in focus, thank you for tuning in to Indian Trace. These points, showing them a little bit in group and trying to keep in the right light, are just magnificent. Little teeny quartz points. And hopefully I've done well enough in focusing so you could pause it and look at it closer if you're interested in seeing these pieces. It's just amazing to me. Give you an idea of the real size of these things. This is just my hand. I can cover all of them just with one hand. Some people find points as big as my hand. I mean, as big as my hand, some people find points, and I can just cover all those, and they're not even close to one another. That's small, and that's pretty cool. So I thought you just might like to see those. I know I had a shout out from somebody just to see the small ones, and I realized I never made a video of the really small quartz points I have all together, at least my display pieces. So as you go out there, I hope you find. Thanks for tuning in to Indian Trace.